Hello guys, TKG's here for your comfortable LostArk life. In this video, I'd like to cover one of his class engraving of the Gunslinger, as the video in my channel has some old introduction and editing, so I thought it'd be great to remake it just like the recent cover videos. Now follow me, I'll show you what you need. Let's start with the basic of this video. Class engraving I'm going to remake on this video is Peacemaker. Peacemaker is another multi-stance class which give you the stance buff after you change the stance. I think the Peacemaker Gunslinger is more proper to describe as stable and continuous DPS mechanism class. And if you are expecting the great damage performance with some certain major skills, well, you might be disappointed. And come to think of it, because of this multi-stance identity, you might be, sometimes you will lose track when you aren't that used to the Gunslinger itself. Sometimes skill circulation can be messed up because of the stance. And here's good news for the Gunslinger players. During the patches that was live on May 8th, Gunslinger finally got some buff on the damage factors on every stance, including the Deadeye. Well, I tested out this damage buff value in most of the high tier raid, like in the Ivory Tower or the Thermine and the Echidna later on. Back then, if I really squeezed the DPS cycle, I could barely see my Gunslingers on the MVP screen, but right now I could see the Gunslinger often, more than I expected, even with no busy hands. So I think the Gunslinger can now perform major DPS role on most of the raid, I think. Currently, and still, the Gunslinger engraving build are categorized into two parts, which using the Peacemaker level 3, like the other classes that using the level 3 class engraving, or lowering the class engraving to level 1 and build it with more like the additional engraving. Well, many people ask me about which one is better on the damage. For me, I think the ceiling performance is coming from the level 3 Peacemakers and level 2 Adrenals. But as the level 2 engraving builds requires 9-7 stone for the requirements, so it can be a little bit picky to build. But without the stone, build comparison between the Peacemaker level 1 and level 3, there's not many differences. And sometimes because of the circumstances on the raid, level 1 Peacemaker is slightly better on most of the raid. For the most Gunslingers. Well, back to the main part. First build is about the Peacemaker level 3 build. Currently and commonly the Peacemaker level 3 and the Adrenal level 2 show you the ceiling performance. And come to think of it, for more details, if you wish to be more accurate for your Gunslinger critical, you need to consider the two factors, like the synergy on the fixed party or how much level of Adrenals you're going to use. So commonly, this level is proper for your Gunslinger critical build. Or if you just want to build with no consideration, you can just follow this build for your Gunslingers. Also, the Peacemaker build has one more variation by adding swiftness for better control experience, but the DPS performance can be a little bit lower than just critical and specialization build. Pretty obvious, right? And before I show you the build of the Gunslinger, first, the Gunslinger build has a categorized into two parts, which represent as 7M or 6M. Which means you have an option to master 7 skills or the 6 skills for your major DPS cycle. Basically, in Korea, 포마절타, focused shot, dual buckshot, target down, sharpshooter must be mastered for your damage performance, and choose it from the other 4 skills like shotgun rapid fire, bullet rain, catastrophe, perfect shot. You can use the 6 or 7 mastering skill build, or you can lower the skill point to level 11 and use the more even and stable DPS cycle. And I think mostly or commonly, Gunslinger players do use the 2 rifle skills and choose it between from the shotgun rapid fire and the bullet rain. And mostly, the shotgun rapid fire is used for the level 3 Peacemaker and the bullet rain are used for the level 1 Peacemaker build. Well, actually it is quite a preference. Shotgun rapid fire can compress the DPS in short period of time, and the bullet rain can be mobilized during the skill casting and has a shorter cooldown. Problem is, the damage gap is not that much between those two skills. Right now, I think the Gunslinger has a quite stable floor and DPS performance due to the buff and the attack range. And I think the style of the Gunslinger player is quite stylish than any other classes in the LostArk. It requires busy hands for switching stance. And above all, you don't require pre-work or identity supply stuff for gameplay. You can just pick it up and play right away if you have a right build. And as I mentioned, you need busy hands. Switching stance is interesting, but sometimes it is quite annoying. Other classes just turn on and do the stuff. Gunslinger have to switch stance all the time. And if that effort on control deserves the MVP, it can't be felt like rewarded for that busy works. But sometimes you will miss the MVP even with that hard work. And I think the core of the Gunslinger, I mean the most backbone of the Gunslinger, is coming from the thinners, which the spiral tracker and the dexterous shot, and additional attack speed buff, quick step. These inner skills are the most backbone and the foundation of the Gunslinger and for the party. So before you start the combo, not only you need to consider the adrenals, but also you need to consider the synergy for your critical. Awakening is Eye of Twilight. Well, actually the HE is okay to use it for the quick nightmare buff, but I think the HE is more proper to use it on the Chaos Dungeon or the PvP. And if you wish to use the powerful Awakening skill, try to use it with the rifle stance buff. Or if you wish to see the critical, you have to use it on the shotgun stance buff. Composition of the skill can be summarized like this text box. Well, I think this is the big advantage of the Gunslinger right now. You have plenty of skill to use it on your skill composition. But as the Gunslinger is quite classic class in the LostArk, right now the skill composition are quite fixed to use. First, the additional handgun skill is Peacemaker, Grenade, Somersault Shot, Equilibriums. Peacemaker is a counter and additional movement skills, and Somersault Shot also can be utilized as the addition movement skills. And the Grenade is great to use it with Purify Rune due to the short cooldown, which means you can use the Grenade like Sacred Charm during the Archon or the other raid that requires Purify for your survivals. And also you can use the Deathfire with the Tenacity Tripod for your survival. And the shotgun skill can be summarized like this. Additional shotgun skill is Shotgun Rapid Fire and the Last Request. Each skill is great at stagger, destruction. Hour of Judgment is out of concern due to the low stagger and destruction. And the last, Rifle Stance, is like this. Actually, the rifle skill is the backbone of the Gunslinger damage performance, so you need it anyway. And the Spiral Flame is not a skill, try not to use it. Catastrophe has one more option, which increases the stagger at the second tripod and the third tripod, Carpet Bombing and the Eternal Calamity. Both are preference. Personally, I use the Eternal Calamity. Skill combo of the Peacemaker can be summarized like this. As I said first, you need to keep some skills always stick together for your stable damage performance. Of course, you can change the combo with your flexibility. Skill combo of the Peacemaker is quite a reference, but it is something that you have to keep it. More like you need to group up the skills that suits well on your control. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching everyone, and always thanks for your big support. Hope this video was a little helped for your LostArk journey. Hope you do well with your Gunslinger with this video. And of course, if you like my videos, hit the sub for more upcoming infos. I'll come back with more useful infos in the next video.